Okay, we have in our first semifinal, we have our number 2 seed, Jordon Schuss from Surrey, BC. Sorry, I said Langley earlier. And we have our number 3 seed, Greg Degrazia from Thunder Bay, Ontario.
Right, both experienced bowlers, both great bowlers, and both have won here already, so they're used to the conditions. And yeah, I don't know. Any thoughts on who might win? What leaning one way or another?
I don't know. Like both guys, Jordan had a 320, I believe, and Greg had 301.
Yeah.
Both were throwing well. Both had a run of strikes.
Yeah.
Kind of, in my mind, whoever punches less is probably going to win this one.
I can't agree with you more. Let's see what happens.
Okay, Jordan's elected for Greg to go first.
All right, so we're up one more round. We're now into the semifinals. So what are we up to now? $150 a frame?
Correct.
So that's some good money they can put away.
So Greg will throw 1 frame, and then Jordan will get up and play 2 frames, and then Greg 2 frames from there. They alternate 2 until the very last one. So Jordan will get the chance to finish the game last.
Ooh, little thin to win.
Starts with the slider a little bit. That's a big difference from his last start, where Greg Degrazia came out in the quarterfinal and threw a 3-pin to start, and then and then another one in his.
He got his feet in the right spots going that time. His speed was a little bit better.
So in the 5-pin universe rankings, Jordan's 16th ranked, and Greg is the 8th ranked.
That's a good ball.
Great shot.
So
right in that right pocket. That's just
so
where
these 2 bowlers probably the furthest spread out across the country, where you got Jordan down in Surrey, BC, and you got Greg Degrazia down in or over in Thunder Bay.
Yeah, so we had 6 from Alberta, 1 from BC, 2 from Saskatchewan, 2 from Northern Ontario, and 1 from Manitoba.
That's a great split for provinces for only taking 12 bowlers. Just shows how competitive everybody is across Canada, and not only that, we have had other bowlers. We've had a few bowlers from Newfoundland and Quebec come out and play in the tour, and getting support from everywhere. That's just fantastic.
Got a great contingent coming, usually from the Ontario as well, right?
Yeah.
A bunch of those guys coming, so it's great to be able to see. Maybe we'll turn this into the Canadian bowling tour.
That would be the ultimate goal.
That would be great.
Another good shot by Jordan. Just absolute bombs.
Same shot every single time.
Same shot, right pocket.
You know, Daryl, you mentioned the Canadian Bowling Tour possibility. We could easily use more sponsors in the game. So if anybody out there is thinking, hey, this looks really neat, I'd like to get on board with this, we can always use, we've got great sponsors already, but we can always use more.
First 2 frames go to Jordan there. Greg's miss.
On the carryover.
Yeah, and the outreach we get on Facebook and social media is unbelievable.
A lot of
Thousands of hits on YouTube, Facebook.
A lot of videos.
We live stream all our events as well. I mean, a decent start for Greg, but he's down 2-0.
You mentioned the kids, Mark. That's another great thing about our game of 5-pin bowling across Canada. All the great coaches we got in the Youth Bowling Council. These kids are bowling adult tournaments at age 15 now.
There's another good shot by Greg.
Didn't look like it was a smooth shot there, but
he's a field bowler though, right? So not necessarily going off of the pocket, but a lot of fingers, quick approach. Jordan's a bit more deliberate on where he's aiming for.
Yeah, Jordan likes the right pocket, and Greg likes the left.
Yeah.
I was just hoping I hit the middle.
Oh, there's one for Greg. Somebody listen to music back there?
Jordan didn't throw that ball that bad when he punched. Maybe speed was up just a fraction, but unfortunately that's our game. You can throw the ball really well and not get the result.
Okay, 12.
12 count in the third, so Greg will win that one.
60.
He'll want to regroup a little bit there. It seems like Jordon was thrown off by something that lost his concentration on that last frame. But
Yeah, something bothered you. You gotta take a deep breath, forget about it, and move on.
And that's the beauty of this, is it's frame by frame, so you're not having to. You gotta focus every single ball and every single frame.
Oh,
First one of those.
First set of aces.
Yeah, we call those aces. You're leaving both corner pins up. That's a tough pick.
These are spared very rarely.
Yeah, I think the term that you're talking about there, Daryl, is what they call a short memory, right? The quarterback throws an interception, he's got to go out and throw the next ball, right?
Yeah.
The pitcher gives up a home run, he's got to go out.
Oh,
and
he
fix the
went for it
batter.
too. That was the right way.
No different in bowling. You throw a bad shot or you miss a shot, you gotta get right up and make your best effort.
Especially with these four there. I mean, these guys in the semifinals now. They're the top
Okay,
of their
I
game.
got 13.
Right.
Jordan's going for a little bit of a walk here. He's gonna have a little talk with himself and shake it off. Oh.
This is where cleaning it up is huge, right?
Yeah.
So Jordon had a 13 count, which means that Greg needs all of these pins in order to win the frame.
You got the first side.
There's 5.
He at least needs the 3-pin.
Still pretty quick bowler. Needs both of the pins. Oh, there's a cherry.
There's a cherry.
We've talked about that.
So there's a
There's a carryover on a 13.
frames. That hasn't happened very often today.
That's a big one. So both of them now have had a couple of adversity that they're going to have to get out of their mind. Yeah, reset the pins, regroup, and go and execute the next shot.
I mean, if I'm either one of these guys, I'm not getting too worried. They're both throwing okay.
No, nobody's running away with anything, and
Chop off for Greg there.
to me it looks like Greg's throwing the ball just a little bit harder than what he normally does. He's not a guy that throws the ball real hard. He uses rotation and accuracy. So he's off balance a little bit there. Yeah.
His arm just couldn't catch up.
Everything's got to get there at the same time.
As we've seen, 15 is very important,
Very important.
especially on a carryover here.
So Greg's got 113 in the 5th. Jordan's got 85 in the 4th. And they're working on a carryover here.
Yeah, big chance here for Jordon to go up 4-1 with a strike or a spare. Huge.
Wow.
Ooh. Okay, this is where that 15 is important. You got to clean it up.
3 in a row for Jordan. Headpin, aces, headpin.
Definitely needs the 15 count because you got a 2-frame carryover too.
This makes you work for it. Oh,
No.
he kind of turned his hand over there. Looked like he rolled it over.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's 2 frames for Greg.
Now, Coach Lynn, Jordan's had a headpin, an aces, and a headpin in a row. Is it time to make a little adjustment, or do you think he already has? Or
Well, you know what? He's got to know himself how he's throwing the ball. If he doesn't think he's throwing the ball well, then I think he's just got to be a little bit sharper. And if he is throwing the ball well and not getting the results, then he may have to think about some small change. Maybe half a board left, half a board right, getting the ball out a few inches more, something like that. Whatever he does in his arsenal to make changes.
maybe just a tiny,
Nothing drastic.
a tiny little change, just to maybe mentally say that you adjusted, you changed.
Even just for your
in
brain.
reality, you didn't really change anything.
Yeah. But he knows how the ball's coming out of his hand and whether he feels his speed is right.
That looked better. Much
that are on the right pocket there again. So he found it just those last few just a little bit thick, right on the beak, right? So he was off.
Better finish on the just on the fingers.
Yeah, just off to the side a bit, obviously.
Just looked crisper. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Greg's going up. Got to strike to match.
Ooh, matches.
So we got another carryover in the 6th frame.
Greg's back in his ever popular left-hand pocket.
So Greg won that carryover, so he's now up in frames 3-2.
And now we have another carryover.
See, now earlier on in some of the matches, I was talking about the back leg being in contact with the approach. Usually, Greg's foot comes up, but it generally doesn't bother him as much because he's more of an upright bowler. If he was bent over more at the waist, that would affect his line.
Okay, he needs a spare here.
Yeah, big spares. Each and every frame and ball is important. I got the spare.
Just got enough of the inside of that one to carry it.
A little bit of fingers. Okay, Jordan needs a strike to win 2 frames here.
Expect to see a bit of emotion coming out of this one after he throws a strike.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Came across.
Oh.
Yeah.
Ooh, tough break there.
Came across left.
Well, you can still spare it up though, right?
Got to spare.
Carry the frame over.
Big
That
now.
was a pretty good shot there. Maybe with his speed, maybe just a tad bit thin, and the ball drove through. Right?
Is that the first time he's been on that side?
It might
Maybe
be,
second time or something.
Attaboy.
Another
Big ball.
carryover.
That's a big pressure corner pin spare.
Yeah, it's tough to get off. You had a bad break.
So now we've got 2 frame carryover, so this is 3 frames. Really?
What I shouldn't need to throw with this spare. I should have to strike, and right, you got all these.
This next skin is pretty much the match here. Could be, yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
2 frame carryover and only 16 pins difference in total.
I thought it was good out of his hand.
Yeah, just got himself a little bit beaky.
Do you think he's throwing a little harder at all?
I'm not sure.
I think it's just tracking just to the middle.
Yeah,
Just
I
wrong
think
spot?
He's just off by 2 or 3 inches.
It's not much.
If that.
I mean, you look at
Yeah.
the distance between the pins or the size down there. It's not a lot of space, right?
Pinning's gonna hurt him a little bit here, I think.
Yeah. Anytime you don't get 15, it's almost like you're giving the other bowler a free frame, right?
Because going up and I need 15, I'm feeling pretty good about that.
Yeah.
Ooh.
That might have been a frame of I'm not really happy with myself.
Yeah, that's tough though. And we've all been there when you punch in 3, you punch in 4, you punch in 5, and now you punch in 8. You're just, I'm done.
See, that's why pinning is huge.
Absolutely. So he just won 3 frames with that split.
Yeah.
And the match is
Forced him
over.
to clean it up.
And the match is over because now Greg has 6-2. Yeah. Well, pinning is huge because a 15 count, you force somebody to have to spare or strike.
And it sounds funny, but I'd almost rather have the other guy throw a straight because you're up there focusing on your best shot. When somebody opens and calls 15, they say,
I just need this.
Yeah, I hope I don't punch because then I got to clean my whip, throw 2 more good balls just to tie. The thought process is so
negative
big.
instead of positive, I guess.
Exactly, 100%.
You're thinking, I just need this instead of, why don't I just get a strike? And it's good anyway. Glass half full. Great shot.
That's a great shot by Greg. Bounce back.
Well, Jordan can win a couple frames here. Still some cash up for grabs. I mean, both these guys are on the middle almost every frame. Ooh. Well, that was different.
We didn't like the looks of it, but I didn't like the end result.
That was thick left, and the pins didn't stand a chance. So
yeah,
See, he was thin on. He was more pocket, and he left that corner on that lane.
yeah. Well, definitely hasn't had fun on that lane.
Yeah. That lane's it's interesting, you know. Well, the last match too, the lane 13. But early on in the day, it was lane 14 that wasn't really.
Yeah, because Dwayne had the 5 strikes on 14, right?
He knew it, and Dwayne knew that it was getting into his head. So you wonder if it was starting to weigh on Jordon too a little bit.
But even getting this pin's huge because of great punches. He's got to clean it up.
Sure. Well, you make some money too, right? At the end of the day, the extra few $100s is. Tough finish there for Jordon with a 196.
Real tough finish.
Yeah, 10 for 10 on the middle.
10 for 10,
10
five,
for 10 on the
five
middle.
plows basically. And count the aces as a plow, right? And
Didn't I say at the beginning of the match?
yeah, that's
I
right.
said whoever punches more is going to win.
So who was smarter, you for saying it or me agreeing with you?
A little bit of both.
And I think that's our first sub 200 game, is it?
That could be, yeah.
There's a head pin there for Greg. So 196 for Jordon. And two frames. Greg with 238.
238.
238 in the win, though. So what do we got there, Lynn?
We got 238 to 196 for Greg Degrazia over Jordon Schuss, and we have 8 frames to 2. So on to the second semifinal.
Okay, we had another close match there, and as I predicted, I think the person with the most head pins probably wasn't going to win.
Yeah, you called that one right away.
Yeah, so we had Greg Degrazia, our number 3 seed, with 8 frames and a score of 238 against Jordon Schuss with a 196 and 2 frames.
Yeah, five head pins for Jordon. I started off well and ran into trouble in 3, 4, and 5. And anybody that plays this game knows that you got to hit the middle to score, and yet a lot of times things like that can happen, right? We had 8 head pins between the 2 players, so unfortunately for Jordon, but I guess good for Greg.
Yep.
So we're past that match. We come to our next semifinal. And
First semifinal.
First, what's that? Well,
First
yeah, based on the way we've done it. But,
Oh, yeah.
But we go back to, what did you say? It was our championship final of 2 years ago, was it? Or 3 years ago?
2 years ago, yes.
Yeah, with Tyler playing Dexter. That outcome was, I think,
Tyler won, yeah.
Tyler won that match. So we'll see what happens today. Dexter's got a tough lead to follow. He's got to start with a 10-bagger. Otherwise, his average is going to go down. Starting off with that 427. So
Yeah.
but we all know Tyler won't be intimidated and Dexter won't be intimidated. So I think it'll be a good match.
Yeah, I think it'll be a really good match.
So let's get it underway.
Okay, let's take a few moments to acknowledge our sponsors, and thanks for all your support over the year.